Hey, my people. I want to talk about this gently because this situation needs understanding before judgment. Before anyone picks a side or starts shouting online, there is something very important we need to notice. The people everyone is shouting for are the quietest ones in this whole matter. Sonia and Maurice have said almost nothing. Meanwhile, the internet is on fire. People are arguing, defending, attacking, and fighting imaginary battles. But Sonia and Maurice remain calm and silent, and that silence is what is making many people uncomfortable. Online, we are used to instant reactions. We expect people to cry, explain, defend themselves, or release long statements. Silence feels strange to people because it removes control. When someone does not react the way we expect, it forces us to sit with our own thoughts. Sonia and Maurice did not give the internet what it wanted, and that alone has kept this conversation going. This silence is not weakness, and it is not confusion. It is control. In a digital space where every word can be recorded, edited, and misinterpreted, speaking carelessly can create problems that last longer than the situation itself. Sonia and Maurice understand that once words are released, they no longer belong to you. They become content. By staying quiet, they protect their future selves from today's emotional reactions. Many supporters are reacting from emotion, and that is understandable. People feel close to public figures they follow daily. They feel invested. They feel like they deserve answers immediately. But Sonia and Maurice are operating from professionalism, not emotion. They are thinking about their image, their careers, and the long-term consequences of every move they make. That difference between emotional urgency and professional patience is where the tension is coming from. It is also important to say this clearly. Fans did not imagine everything. There was emotional energy, shared moments, closeness, timing, and appearances naturally pulled people in. The internet did not create feelings out of nothing. The connection people sensed was real enough to invite belief. So when that energy suddenly stopped without explanation, many people felt emotionally confused, like a story that ended halfway. This was never about marriage or entitlement. People were not demanding lifetime commitments. What many people wanted was closure. Human beings need clarity. We need to understand when something begins and when it ends. When silence replaces clarity, the mind begins to fill in the gaps. People start guessing meanings, timelines, and intentions. That uncertainty is what kept the discussion alive, not hatred or bitterness. This situation also exposed two different kinds of followers. Some people were genuinely concerned about Sonia and Maurice as human. Their words came from care, not excitement. Others were more interested in the drama itself. They wanted reactions, explanations, and emotional scenes. You can hear the difference when people speak. Concern sounds calm, entertainment sounds eager. At some point, support began to cross into control. Admiration slowly turned into entitlement. Some fans started giving instructions, telling Sonia and Maurice when to speak, what to say, and how to feel. That is where problems usually begin. Support does not mean ownership. Caring about someone does not give you authority over their emotions or decisions. When love turns into pressure, people naturally pull away. Love is not meant to suffocate. Support is not meant to demand performance. When expectations become too loud, silence becomes protection. Sonia and Maurice choosing silence is also choosing peace. It is choosing mental stability over public approval. It is choosing not to turn personal experiences into entertainment for strangers. The truth is that the internet often prefers emotion over understanding. Answer: it wants tears, anger, and dramatic explanations. People were expecting long statements, emotional videos, or public breakdowns. Sonia and Maurice refused to perform pain for attention, and that refusal unsettled many people. In the end, one thing remains clear. Noise fades quickly, but dignity lasts. Online drama comes and goes, but reputation and self-respect remain. Sonia and Maurice are clearly thinking long term. They are not trying to win today's argument at the cost of tomorrow's peace. This situation became more than just a story about Sonia and Maurice. It became a reflection of how people react when they do not get answers, how silence can speak louder than words, and how sometimes the strongest response is choosing not to respond at all. Another thing people are not talking about enough is how draining constant public attention can be. When every move you make is watched, analyzed, and interpreted, it becomes easy to forget that you are still human. Sonia and Maurice wake up like everyone else. They have emotions, thoughts, and private moments that do not belong to the public. Silence can sometimes be the only way to breathe when the noise becomes overwhelming. Also, not every story needs a public ending. Some chapters are meant to close quietly. The internet wants a beginning, middle, and dramatic ending, but real life does not always work that way. Sometimes people grow apart, change direction, or simply decide to keep certain things private. That does not mean anyone was deceived. It just means life happened. People also need to understand that social media is not real life, even though it feels real. What we see online is curated moments, not full realities. Smiles, videos, appearances, and interactions do not always tell the whole story. When those moments stop appearing, it does not automatically mean something bad happened. Sometimes it simply means boundaries were drawn. Silence does not always mean something is wrong. Sometimes silence means something is being handled properly. It means conversations are happening offline. It means decisions are being made away from public pressure. It means maturity is being applied where chaos is expected. The pressure from fans, even when it comes from love, can push people into saying things they later regret. Sonia and Maurice choosing not to speak yet shows awareness. It shows restraint. It shows understanding of how fast words can be twisted online. Once a statement is released, screenshots live forever, even after apologies. This situation has also taught a quiet lesson about patience. Not everything needs an immediate explanation. Not every curiosity deserves an answer. Sometimes the healthiest thing to do is to step back and allow time to settle emotions. Time reveals truth more gently than forced explanations. Some people will eventually lose interest because drama without reaction cannot survive for long. Others will remain upset because silence does not feed their expectations. But life will move on. New stories will replace this one, as they always do. That is how the internet works. What will remain, however, is how Sonia and Maurice handled themselves. Long after the noise dies down, people will remember the calm, the restraint, and the refusal to turn personal matters into public spectacle. That kind of maturity is rare in an age where oversharing is rewarded. So before judging, before attacking, before demanding explanations, it is important to pause and reflect. Silence is not always the enemy. Sometimes silence is the most respectful answer available, and sometimes choosing peace over explanation is the strongest decision anyone can make. Have a lovely day. Bye.